Hey Alex, welcome. We are not playing the first game anymore, but we need to have the story, so I'll have to watch it with you. Which means all the cutscenes. They form sort of a story, so that's what we need to know. But I'm not subjecting myself to playing more of this thing. As I mentioned before, I firmly believe it is the worst game I've ever played in my life. And it causes me pain, so no. I will not be playing any more of it. Because in every single bit of its existence, everything is misguided and completely terrible. Especially since, like, RTS has come so far since it's been done, and like, I don't care that it has been good when it came out, because there was nothing else. Today, we have so many better games, and the remaster should have improved upon its features to a point where we could be playable for a modern person. This is just unacceptable. I'm gonna be right back. Shut the curtain. There was, yes. Apparently the second game is better, but let's hope it is. The first one is no. No. It's extremely cursed. Yeah, well. Yeah. So this is gonna be like 15 minutes of cutscenes. We'll be watching GDI first and then Nod cutscenes, all of them. It's gonna form sort of a story. Some of it is gonna be pretty funny, I think. That's the good part about this game, is actually the cringe actor cinematics. They're good. Especially Kane. Kane is a freaking cult leader, but... and a terrorist, but also it's kind of funny with him. The cats... I think Bobby's caught in the freaking... I think she does that on purpose. She likes to do that. All the cats are here. I hope they leave me alone today, because... well, they've been fed. So they should be... oh. Bobby's on my back. He doesn't want to come down. Alright. I hope they didn't go nuts today. It shows she had her claws stuck in the curtain. But I think she likes to do that just to like kind of hang on it. I don't know why, but it's not really very safe. No. We've got like the new curtain because we had to put the other ones into the washing machine, and this one now has holes in it, and I can see daylight through them. So that's great. This is like, you know, a rudimentary curtain. What's Darkness doing? Darkness is chasing her around and wants to bite her because he's just no chill today. You see, or did you hear that? Again, it's cats, the gentlest of creatures, yes. Except that part where they frickin' they stomp like crazy. Like running around. It's like having a kid. It's like, I'm glad no one lives under us, because if they did, they would complain about that for sure. Alright. Get yourself some snacks or something, because this is gonna take like 15 minutes. We'll watch it together. This any good? Hopefully that's good enough. Many years ago I had two kittens. Their favorite game was climbing the curtains and sitting on the rod on top. But if the shit out of the curtains, yep. Sounds about right. Glad they didn't do that. Like kids, but way better? Yeah. Alright. So GDI cutscenes first. We've seen a little bit of this before when we played it.
This up? Good. I know you need more deep background, but we're up against it. Nod forces have fortified this beachhead at X-16Y42. Intelligence is still coming in, so we can't tell you a lot. We found a chink in their armor. Commander Carter can sneak you and some backup forces on shore right here. You may get some artillery support from his gunboats, but this is mostly grunt work. Your mission is simple. Knock out all fortifications, eliminate all Nod troops, and establish a beachhead by building your base. Good luck.
Let me know if it's too loud. Maybe it is slightly too loud. In any case, yeah, that was the first mission. Something to be said. Yeah, so the remaster did improve the cinematics, believe it or not. This is improved. But, yeah. Well, let's just watch it. Yeah, right, it's a construction yard.
Good job with the beachhead, Commander. It's time to bring you up to speed on Nod so you know what you're dealing with. This is Kane, the self-appointed leader of the Brotherhood of Nod. Stand by, I'll link us up.
Condition critical. Know why Nod had this beach bottled up? They're protecting a big Tiberium refinery that intelligence somehow missed. We need backup now. Nod troops are pouring out of their base, strangling our foothold. We gotta knock out that refinery, eliminate all Nod forces before we lose our position. I don't know how long we can hold out.
You heard the man. What are you waiting for?
Hey Chris, welcome. Need to be watching in 640 by
I know I promised
480
more deep
for the
background
full
on
effect.
Kane and
Yeah,
Nod, but there'll be time
this
for
is
that
a
later.
remastered,
Carter says you hit the ground fighting.
so it's
Nice
actually
job.
no
Now we
higher
need that
quality.
again.
Unfortunately, they didn't
Somewhere in
remaster
this
the game
section is a
itself
Nod
much,
base.
meaning it's an
Protect it against
absolutely
airstrikes
awful
by
experience to
Nod
play.
SAM sites. Knock them out so Colonel Morelli can
And so
provide
we are
air
watching
support.
this instead.
That should make it easier for you to take out the base. I'll be out of the loop for a couple of days doing civvy time at the UN. Don't let me down.
This is a commando mission, probably is. I don't remember.
Sanctioned by the United Nations, the Global Defense Initiative has one goal: eliminate multinational terrorism in an effort to preserve freedom.
And get rich while doing it. It's all about money, money. It is. This being said, Nod are really
The
bad people.
Brotherhood of Nod, an ancient and secret society, maintains strong ties with most global terrorist organizations. Commanded by this man,
Into your role.
known only as Kane, Nod's long-term goals are unknown.
Do I need to talk about it? If you talk about it, there is no improvement to the pathfinding from the original, meaning units get constantly stuck on each other, including your harvesters, which is your only income. So in a lot of missions, when there is like a bridge or anything, or a cliff, the harvesters just, suddenly stop working, unless you constantly are microing everything, and not just, like click it somewhere. No, you need to babysit that shit, and just like kite it around things, because it can't handle anything. Bigger the unit, the worse it gets, of course. It's even terrible with infantry, but more so with larger units. Something else. Yeah, so like there's no balance. The AI doesn't care about anything. It cheats in money. It doesn't care about its harvesters or anything like that. It will constantly repopulate and rebuild all the structures it loses. Therefore, it has infinite funds, and you need to build a dead ball and kill it in one hit. If you just kind of try to fight it and do a little bit of damage, that's worthless. You've just wasted your money, and now you're done, because the money runs out extremely quickly. There's not enough Tiberium on most of the maps, so you have to build a one dead ball and hope that it's enough, and that's how you play this game. So like the original was, basically it's an RTS, it's a puzzle game, more than anything else. Other things around it, well, balance is just completely terrible, where tank shots don't kill infantry, and the only way to kill infantry is to run them over with tanks. Of course, the AI uses this to great effect, because it has basically 3 units, so, it doesn't care about its tanks. While your tanks, if you send it to run over some infantrymen, yeah, it will work, but then the tank's gonna blow up, and it's very expensive to replace. Repairing units takes money, which is ridiculous. There just everything and anything in the game is absolutely hostile to the player. It's not even, again, it's not a proper RTS, it's a freaking puzzle game more than anything else. There is one solution to most things, and if you don't use that solution, you just die. So yeah, that's how great this game is. It's the worst game I've ever played in my life. And that includes Minesweeper.
However, recent activities include expansionary behavior into disenfranchised nations, high-volume investment in global trade markets, and aggressive manipulation of international mass media. These efforts are suspected to be funded by Nod's access to vast Tiberium deposits. Tiberium continues to confound the scientific community, soaking up ground minerals and soil nutrients like a sponge. The end result of this unique leaching process
Yeah,
creates
bye.
the formation
Welcome.
of Tiberium crystals, rich in precious metals and available for collection with a minimum of mining expense.
Is what you feel of the remake or the original as well? It's the remake, but the original was the same. It's just at the time, you need to realize one thing. At the time when this was created, this game, it was revolutionary in its ability for you to control multiple units at once, which up until that point, games like Warcraft or even Starcraft had like 8 limit on a unit, on a control group, which is terrible. But there is not even an attack move in this game, and not even in the remaster. Why is the remaster? They remastered it to a flaw. A remaster is not supposed to be just a port, just so that you can play it on modern systems, which is effectively what they did. It's not a remaster, it's a port. Apart from, they improved the cinematics slightly. Okay, great, okay. But in terms of gameplay, they didn't check any of those jank. So that's a big problem, because like the things that this game had going for it when it came out are now completely and utterly pointless, because games nowadays offer you so much more. Every game has attack move. Every game has unlimited control groups, basically. Maybe there's a control limit, but usually it's not substantial limitation. What it is that this game really, even at the time when it was made, RTS genre as in general was not very well developed, and so even mission design as well as unit design is just straight up terrible, because like no one took the time to actually test it that long or think about how these things work together, and what it results in is mess, not to mention the horrible pathfinding, which is just terrible. But yes, even the original game is terrible for a modern player to play today. The remaster does not help that, unfortunately, which was my hope, but no. Oh, absolutely, like, don't get me wrong, like, modern games, RTS games, the genre has evolved so much that today you've got so much quality of life in every game, basically. Even indie games are better than this, because of just how far the genre has come, and even a person who doesn't have, like, a very deep understanding, who is not a developer, can in fact know and design things that are fairly, well done and not infuriating to play, which this game just does not have. I wish they remastered it properly and not just did it port, because this game could have deserved it and it could have been a good game, but it would necessitate redesigning some of the missions, improving the pathfinding, implementing attack move, things like that. Quality of life. But also redesign. The missions are terrible. They need the AI especially. It's effectively not even an AI. It's just a set of scripts, and they are very rudimentary. So again, make the AI not cheat. Maybe give it some bonuses, but don't make it effectively have unlimited money. That's what StarCraft 1 had as well in some of their AI in Brood War. And it's despised to this day because of how jank that is. Because the AI has unlimited money and it can virtually kill you the moment it decides to. But there are limitations on it to not have it do that. So instead of making an AI, you just kind of make it have anything it wants. But then you say, oh, you shouldn't maybe make 15 Brutalisks, the 15 Ultralisks the first minute of the game and kill the player, right? Because that's obviously would not be good. But AI absolutely is capable of doing that. It has the money, it has everything for it. It just is told not to do that. But effectively, it has limitless funds, and also start to get aggressive as you get to its base. And then again, it's a death ball thing in this game, right? You either kill the base in one hit, or you don't and you die, because you have money which is very limited, while the AI does not care. Therefore, just like playing the game and trying to fight their composition or whatever, like in an RTS game, is not viable. You build one dead ball, that dead ball has to kill the base or you die. That's it.
Echo to Commander, approaching our next objective.
Never managed to get into these older C&C games.
We've got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Not ambushed one of our convoys.
This one it's the worst game I've ever played. It is.
Sounds harmless, right? Well, those rods are step one in slapping together a nuclear device. You gotta get them back. Shepard's still offline, so we're acting without confirmation, but I'm betting that this is too important to wait.
That's right.
Take a small force into the Naughty camp and get those rods back before their birds can pick them up. The rods were packed in transport crates. I doubt Nod's had time to transfer them, but who knows. Keep your eyes open. Give them hell.
And that is why we are not playing it, because I love myself and I've suffered enough. We've played it for like 10 hours and I don't know. I don't have it in me. Beat it. It's a little terrible game. Again, they could have done so much with the remaster, but they chose to instead give us the exact same jank, but slightly shinier.
War-torn Bialystok. Once a happy farming town for peace-loving peasants. Today, a slaughterhouse. Yet one more casualty in the insane GDI assault against mankind. Yet another in a series of villages wiped off the Earth by the Global Defense Initiative and its misguided leader, General Mark Shepard. What crime did Bialystok commit to warrant said carnage? Sources indicate that GDI terrorists were convinced this simple hamlet was involved in the manufacture and shipping of Tiberium.
It's a shame, really. It could have been such a better game.
End, only one General Shepard and his vision of one world order is stopped. This is Greg Burdett, Bialystok.
Kids are going absolutely nuts. You get to see Kane for the first time in GDI cutscenes.
Excellent. Now, do it again in French and German. I want 300 copies made and sent to every TV station in Europe. You have the satellite for another 10 minutes. Is that camera still running?
So nice that the jank amplifies itself. Bad pathfinder leads to bad resource mining. It's the attrition war against the AI with unlimited resources, yeah. You know, you are right, especially with all these things working together in conjunction. It makes the game into a mix that's incredibly unenjoyable and extremely hostile to the player. If it was just one of these things by itself, it would be okay. But when all the jank works together, as you mentioned, it all leads into one mix that makes it just such a miserable experience. It's, yeah, no. Well, I really hoped that they would do something with the game. It's what it is. That's why we are watching these cutscenes, so we can play the second game, which is apparently better. So that's what we'll do.
Isn't this another incident of GDI reacting to incorrect information?
Any comment? Should GDI funding be cut?
This is where they cut your budget. Yeah, okay. I've seen this. I'm gonna be right back. Just gonna get myself something.
Nod forces severely damaged GDI base in your area. Critical shortage of weapons and manpower. Find GDI base and return it to operational status.
Commander here. It's absolutely essential to get this infantry commander involved. Making sure to avoid all just enough time to blast the hell back out. Don't bother with anything.
I'm gonna just double check. Yeah, that's the bases under attack. So apparently I got like halfway through the GDI campaign when we played it. Alright. This is really the commander mission.
Commander, was there confusion with that last directive? We wanted you to take everything out, but Nod's still there. We can supply you with full force now, but it's imperative that this mission be completed. Wipe out Nod presence using all available forces. Oh, and FYI, institute maximum care when transporting captured Tiberium. It seems to display negative effects on some individuals. Out.
That was when you don't take out the correct building with the commando, I think.
World news and opinion. 6 critical items transmitted.
Ground and air skirmishes between Nod and GDI forces escalated today when Nod, reacting to recent GDI funding cuts, launched a full-scale ground attack against GDI troops in Africa.
Hey Will, welcome. We are watching the story of Command & Conquer 1. This is too janky to play.
Continue to deny rumors of continued weapons tests involving orbiting laser.
This is how they give us the same VA as the computer as they did with the Dune RTS. Oh yeah. There's actually in the whole Command & Conquer series where like live actors play in. So there is some CGI, which is terrible, which is really like it's very dated. But half of it, at least, it's actors doing the cutscenes, and I don't hate that. That's actually part of the game, which is good, and I like that they kept it in. Unfortunately, the game is terrible. The first game is just so hostile. It refuses to be played. I'm sorry. That's why we are watching this. Let's go ahead and get through it.
Capable of leveling entire armies in seconds.
Was that the ion cannon?
The exclusive photos smuggled out of the World Tiberium Research Center show evidence of serious ecological consequences in Tiberium-rich areas. Whether these unusual effects on plant life have any relationship to recent reports of Tiberium poisoning in humans remains to be seen.
And the death toll so far, God only knows. This is Greg Burdett standing in front of what GDI terrorists have left of the St. Olafsky orphanage.
Don't look so surprised, Commander. And don't look around for your Eva. It can't help you now. Well, what shall we talk about? Your powerful GDI forces have been emasculated, and you yourself are a killer of children. Now, of course, it's not true. But the world only believes what the media tells them to believe. And I tell the media what to believe. It's really quite simple. Oh, there's your little pet. But now that I know where you live, Commander, it's only a matter of time. Were I in your shoes, I would spend my last earthly hours enjoying the world. Of course, if
Kane's
you
got
wish, you can
that
spend them fighting for a
spot
lost
on.
cause.
Yeah, that's why we watch this, because again, Kane especially is like a horrific cult leader and a terrorist, but at the same time, you know, it's a sci-fi game and he gives it such a charm, because like no other sci-fi games really, apart from like Warhammer, have such a strong antagonist characters, and so that's why I want to have the full story of them. It's good. I like this. It's a bit cringe, of course, but I actually enjoy this. Unlike the most of the first game, which was absolutely terrible. Checks here. 30 years later, it's still
Advanced
true.
condition field briefing. GDI equipment in Area 18 is in urgent need of repair.
When the antags have
This mission
couple of
is of
relatable
great
motivations, yeah,
tactical
absolutely.
importance.
Of course, some people hate that because they just want one-dimensional villains,
Nod
and that's
forces
fine.
still threaten Salzburg.
I like complexity there.
GDI needs to establish headquarters for rapid GDI deployment. Your mission: repair as many ground weapons, armored vehicles, and buildings as possible.
Yeah, so we made it here. This was the mission I've beaten, and then the next one is the one where we left. So I got like more than half of the game. Or GDI campaign, specifically. It's better than I expected, considering the jank.
Welcome to the big time, Commander. You haven't really arrived until Kane has sicked his media ninjas on you at least once. I'm pinch hitting for Shepard since no one's really sure where he is right now. It's the wrong time to take a vacation. We're down about 60% manpower from the T-poison.
It's good to play,
Here's your
Bubos.
objective.
It's the bubonic plague.
Got the Hyverian River running through here about 6 knots, okay?
I guess that's supposed to be Burns.
Here and here you got non-bunkers.
This do not has
Here's what I need from you,
flamethrowers.
pal. Take out the bunkers so I can get my convoy through at 0200. You might create a little guerrilla diversion along the way, just in case some of the Nazis don't get the message. Just enough to cover me until I get into range of their power base. Then all you have to do is sit back and watch the fireworks as my team shows them what kick-ass is really all about. Right her out.
That was a bit cringe. Oh yeah, the ships that did absolutely nothing in this mission. Okay.
Attention. Stand by for Tiberium Dangers update.
Speaking of cringe, this is gonna be the scientist dude
Tiberium
is
is named after the Tiber River in
very
Italy where
cringe.
it was first discovered. There are now more than 200 areas of the Earth affected by Tiberium deposits. Tiberium appears to be spreading by means of conveyance unknown.
Dr. Mobius, tell our viewers just what Tiberium really is.
Molecularly, it's a non-carbon-based element that appears to have strong ferrous qualities with non-resonating reversible energy that has a tendency to disrupt carbon-based molecular structures with inconsequent and unequal positrons orbiting on the first, second, and ninth quark rings.
Whoa, is that good or bad?
Let me put it this way, Eddie. The possibilities of Tiberium are limitless.
Well, let me ask you, when limitless?
We now know
Alright.
that not only does Tiberium leach elements from the soil, but it appears to also leach vital nutrients from all plant life. Human contact with Tiberium is extremely toxic and often fatal. Exposure should be avoided.
Commander, you've been hustled. The UN wasn't against me. Not all of them, at least. But we had to play that little game to lull Kane into a false sense of security. I've unlocked some new UN funding. It should help take care of this madman for good. Morelli, we got some new toys for you.
This is the mission we ended up on.
You've read the
Orca.
classified briefings about Orca, and here she is. I need you and Morelli to take a couple of these babies up and put them through the mill.
Nice.
Concentrate on a radius of 50 miles around Trieste, Slovenia, and see what you can scout up.
Such a shame that the unit is absolute garbage. You can see the background, it's like a solid wall.
Commander, the stakes have risen. One of our operatives, codenamed Delphi, stopped transmitting just as he was about to reveal the location of Kane's research center.
What a mugshot.
He's experimenting with Tiberium, injecting the stuff into human guinea pigs. Delphi also has routes and times of the top secret convoy Kane's taken to Bosnia. Once you've landed on this beach and fought your way through Nod security, find Delphi and, if Kane hasn't killed him, get his information. Over and out.
Means I think a bit of the old Tiberium himself. I would not be surprised. But I think it would mutate him if he did that. Because there are mutants in the future games.
GDI-funded research shows the following incidents of Tiberium-related
Oh yeah, it's good.
illnesses. Respiratory ailments. Reproductive ailments. Immune system ailments. Tiberium-related deaths. Spores emitted by Tiberium-infected plants appear to be a source of Tiberium-related illnesses. The world scientific community is focusing its research on this deadly spore.
Tiberium is a new life form. Quite simply put, it seems to be adapting the Earth's terrain, foliage, and environment to suit its own alien nature. If this is the case, ladies and gentlemen, we are facing a killer beyond that of our most turbulent nightmares. It is not an exaggeration to state that the future of the entire planet may be in jeopardy. May God have mercy on our souls.
Sorry to interrupt your briefing, Commander, but we need your help now. Kane discovered we were hiding Mobius, and he's throwing everything at us but the kitchen sink. It's up to you to mobilize a strike force. Acquire Mobius, and rendezvous with the rescue choppers. Mobius may be crazy, but he holds the key to this Tiberium riddle. Good luck.
He may be crazy. Who could have guessed from the emotions? It's gonna be the same thing with the grenades, yeah. Not sure why it's dirt white.
This is what it's all about. We've cornered Kane in his biochemical research laboratory. Fight your way to the lab and level it. Intelligence informs us that Kane's on site, so complete destruction is imperative. This ought to help. The boys at R&D have completed preliminary testing on the ion cannon, the next generation of strategic defense armaments. Its geosynchronous orbit gives it a target divergence factor of 8-to-1. It's an awesome weapon, the most powerful in our arsenal. You fought long and hard, Commander, and it's all come down to this. We're with you. Good luck.
Look at the size of the buttons. It's like a chimp in a lab. Getting a peanut for pressing the proper combination.
I owe you an apology, Commander. I got it wrong. Kane ducked out of the lab when he lost our satellite feed. He's slippery, but his days are numbered. His troops are squeezing through this ravine right here, apparently in an attempt to regroup with Prime HQ. If you're quick enough, you can pick off the entire Nod column as they roll through, while our field strategists plot the location of that main base. It's fish in a barrel time, Commander. We found him, Commander. Kane's temple and base of operations. This field operative's covert transmission came to us live just 5 minutes ago, so there's no doubt that Kane's inside. He surrounded himself with his own crack militia. Getting to him won't be easy. Ironic, isn't it? Kane's planted his temple just outside of Sarajevo. If that sounds familiar, it's because that's where another madman started World War I. Here we are, trying to stop this madman from doing it again. Commander, there is to be no quarter given. No leniency in dealing with Kane and his zealots. Wipe his temple off the face of the earth. Destroy the bastard.
You wish.
Or to die trying.
And Rusty Bosniak noticed the weird scorpion temple outside. Yeah. Like stuff. Oh, scrap metal. It's like, you've chosen the wrong neighborhood, pal. Just the natives will be on our case very soon.
Sir, topside has suffered significant damage. Structural integrity has been compromised. I estimate GDI will have access to this command center in approximately 20 minutes.
It's almost done. We'll watch the Nord cinematics as well after this, of course. It's the Ancan.
confirmed that massive destruction to the alleged Sarajevo headquarters of the world terrorist organization known as the Brotherhood of Nod was the direct result of an orbiting satellite weapon described by officials as an ion cannon. Destruction of the site ended a 3-day siege, which saw GDI and Nod forces engaged in mortal combat. Eyewitnesses and survivors report that the skirmish may have continued for weeks had it not been for the awesome offensive power of the satellite-based air-to-land cannon.
All right.
Quoting from a prepared statement issued earlier today, UN Secretary of Defense Dr. Charles Olivetti confirmed that heavy casualties were sustained by Nod forces. However, the use of the Star Wars technology cut GDI and civilian losses to, quote, technically acceptable levels, unquote.
Okay, let's watch the Nod cinematics. This is good? Yeah, it's one.
So, you're the new addition to the Brotherhood. Well, I'm Seth. Just Seth. From God to Cain to Seth. I am his right hand, and I have a task for you. This is Nakumba, and he is causing the Brotherhood much grief. His views do not coincide with ours, and that makes him dangerous. Silence him. Back so soon? Let's see how you do with something important. For too many years, GDI forces have maintained a stranglehold on Egypt. It's fallen upon us to liberate these citizens crying out for a better way of life. Cain wants to establish a base here to eliminate the smothering presence of GDI. It's too risky to move our heavy forces in, so we want you to sneak in with a few expendable troops and set up a forward attack post. By the way, there's more than enough Tiberium for you to harvest. That should easily pay your expenses. If you are detected, you fail. If you fail, you die. Cain is going to be pleased to hear how skillfully you've handled yourself. And a word from me to Cain goes a long way in the Brotherhood. These walls imprison many friends and members of the Brotherhood. Free them regardless of cost. Overwhelm the prison, but leave it standing.
She's at the mic right now. And she's off. So that seems chill. That part of it's I think Seth is gonna try to do something really bad to us in the near future, but call me
GDI
paranoid.
is evacuating the village of Oham Hajir. Nod Command Directive. Destroy village and terminate GDI rescue operations. Search and destroy residual GDI presence.
Before you can truly shape the future, you must first possess the past. Assimilate our history, for it is your own. Kane wants you to view this.
Accessing Brotherhood archives. The Brotherhood desires a world of peace, unity, and eternal brotherhood.
Yes,
The
what do the
Brotherhood
lunatics
springs
want?
from lowest of places, offering unity and peace to otherwise neglected and abused nations. Tiberium heralds the dawn of a new age. The Brotherhood embraces this age, harvesting Tiberium to further expand our collective beliefs. Tiberium continues to confound the scientific community, soaking up ground minerals and soil nutrients like a sponge. The end result of this unique leaching process creates the formation of Tiberium crystals, rich in precious metals and available for collection with a minimum of mining expense.
I have good news. While I was at a top-level briefing with Kane, I made mention of your accomplishments and efforts. He's somewhat impressed, and is interested to see how you handle your next assignment. Kane needs Niger, and his personal commander is massing an assault through Algeria. We need to be assured that GDI's HN Warthogs flying out of Lagos do not hinder his progress. Your goal is to set up surface-to-air missile batteries and destroy the GDI airbase. You have caught Kane's eye, and he is watching. Do not fail me. I was starting to trust you, but now Kane has asked for your services specifically. He thinks you can handle this. GDI has imported a nuclear detonator, and Kane's intelligence shows it hasn't even been unpacked yet. Since you seem so brilliant, sneak into the GDI base with a small task force, find the crate, and get out, if you can. And if you're lucky, I'll have a helicopter waiting for you.
I think the node cinematics has... Oh, it's gonna take a little while longer. Alright.
Well, there's no stopping you, is there? Now Kane wants you to destroy this village. It's the last front standing between him and his Tiberium operations. There are some civilians there, but they're sick and dying, so you should be able to handle them quite easily. And don't worry about any GDI forces. Intelligence tells me there are just a few scientists lurking about.
Yes, Polyprometheum, the only solution to Tiberium.
Nod research indicates the following. Humans in GDI-friendly territories are suffering respiratory problems in significant numbers. Tiberium also has a profound negative impact on human immune and reproductive systems. Still unknown is the extent to which Tiberium affects human DNA. Nod analysts predict 3 out of 5 humans will suffer Tiberium-related illnesses within the next 3 years. End transmission. Stand by.
Well done. You are truly becoming Kane's favorite. How would you like to ensure your place in the highest echelons of Nod? Surely you are ambitious enough to take on a mission of tremendous magnitude. Your goal is so secret, even Kane knows nothing of it yet. You see, power shifts quickly in the Brotherhood. I've taken the liberty of dispatching your troops to the U.S. Kane has been loath to attack America, but I feel that it's time, and that you're the one to do it. This is the Pentagon. A full frontal attack with your strongest forces should render their military center of operation.
There goes Seth.
Yes. Power shifts more quickly than some people think. I am Kane. While I get your troops back from the States, I want you to take what men you have left and secure this abandoned GDI base.
Seth fucked up.
Once
Okay.
again, build up an arsenal of weapons and use them to wipe out the remaining GDI presence. Oh, and congratulations on your promotion.
If I'm not wrong, if you play Command & Conquer Renegade, which is a first-person game, shooter game, I think, he can keep Seth in like a tank to display to his other people, like, oh, look what happens when you tell people something that's I want. And yeah, apparently he does that.
Our African campaign is going well, but our Egyptian fortifications have been weakened by GDI attacks from the Nile. One of our bases is under fire, and I need you to reinforce and rebuild. Remove the GDI presence from this region once and for all. Towards that end, we have developed a new weapon you may find useful.
Yeah. He's even got a murder basement in his temple. Yeah, I can walk. Kane lives. Yeah. I mean, that's a spoiler, because we are led to believe he dies from the Iron Cannon blast at the end of the first game. Of course, it's not true, but... yeah.
It's your move. Here you see Tiberium. Some say it is the root of all that we fight for, but the wise man will judge for himself.
Yeah, I mean...
Tiberium is named after the Tiber River in Italy, where
he
it was
is.
first discovered.
Discovered by the Brotherhood, that is, and I named it after Tiberius Drusus Caesar.
Yeah.
There are now more than 200 areas of the Earth affected by Tiberium deposits. Tiberium appears to be spreading by means of conveyance unknown.
Unknown to them, perhaps.
Well, this thing again.
Dr.
Oh no.
Tell our viewers just what Tiberium really is.
Molecularly, it's a non-carbon-based element that appears to have
Do you think this? Yeah.
fascinating reversible energy that has a tendency to disrupt carbon-based molecular structures.
I agree with Kane here.
And unequal positrons orbiting on the first, second, and ninth quark rings.
It is.
Oh, is that good or bad?
Well, let me put it this way, Eddie. The possibilities of Tiberium are limitless.
The real spoiler is canonically Kane. Kane, I believe. Yeah.
We now know that not only does Tiberium leach elements from the soil.
So, you might have noticed, like, oh, is it a peculiar name, Kane, right? Yeah, as Luddington says, if you've read the Bible or you know what the Bible says, it's Cain and Abel are the first, are the sons of, I'm not gonna go into much detail, but basically Cain murders Abel because he's jealous of God favoring him, okay? And so that kind of ties into that whole, the whole Command & Conquer series has kind of subtones of religion and things like that, especially with Nod, because Nod is supposed to be a cult. And if you play Command & Conquer Renegade, again, you will even have missions in like Egypt, and it tries to kind of tie it together with other things, because it's not just in the Bible, it's like Cain and Abel were supposed to be, it's the Old Testament, meaning that it was during, it's like even the Jewish part, right? So even in Egypt, in this Command & Conquer Renegade, you come into like tombs of Egyptians, and there is a tomb of Abel and things like that, which is, you know, Yeah, like there's it's a lot of esoteric things. To go with this.
But it appears to also leach vital nutrients from all plant life. Human contact with Tiberium is extremely toxic and often fatal.
Yeah, it is in the background. You
Exposure should be
don't.
avoided.
It doesn't
This is true.
hit you in the face with it,
Accordingly.
unless you play Renegade.
GDI and the Brotherhood view the benefits and the threats of Tiberium differently. They see a scientific anomaly, a curiosity. I see the future. In their stubborn ignorance, they continue to try and forestall this future.
No problem,
Somewhere
Latin
in this
Sierra.
region is
Bye.
a top secret GDI research lab
Hope-
headed by
hope
Dr.
it goes
Wang
well.
Chan, a sadly misled, although brilliant scientist. I suspect he is leading a research team in the process of developing a devastating new ion weapon. It is imperative that you locate this lab and terminate the good doctor before research is complete.
The ion cannon.
Once you locate the base, one of your snipers should finish the job. Go quickly. I hope I can trust you with this. GDI has stolen the plans and only prototype of our most valuable weapon.
God struck on Kane with the punishment of Boulders and his horrible crime.
It's a stealth
For his
tank.
horrible crime, yeah.
Get it back.
Macworld.
Capture the base without harming the wheel and be certain to wipe out all present GDI forces
gonna
to
load
ensure
it.
that they never steal from me again.
Yeah, I saw that somewhere before. Stealth technology, oh yeah. It's the obelisk.
It has been truthfully said that knowledge is power. As you are no doubt aware, GDI has begun field testing its satellite-based ion cannon despite your previous success. Unfortunate. But it does provide one with an interesting speculation. Inside this communications satellite are the security codes that provide GDI access to this ultimate.
I've had a demo of it as a kid. Because at the time when I was a kid, a lot of these games were not really available here. Like stuff like StarCraft or even Warcraft was not really around here. It was like Age of Empires, yes, but not some of the other games. I think CC maybe. But these sorts of games you got on a CD with a games magazine, and you would get demos. Like it's a CD which has like 30 demos, and you could play that. So I remember playing that. I think it was kind of cool. It's like sort of similar to that new game that's supposed to come out, which is gonna be similar to that.
It is imperative.
I don't remember the name of it though.
Secure these codes now. You must capture the center and retrieve the security codes from their databases. Be steadfast. Do not be deterred, no matter what the cost.
No mercy.
Just in preparation.
My secret weapon! No longer will the world be dominated. Move!
we have reached the end. The final
God,
piece
it's
of my
going to be
puzzle is
late.
within your grasp. 2 GDI bases rest on ground I have chosen to be the cradle of my temple. Remove them in any way you can. Your efforts have landed us here, my faithful friend. The temple is complete, and we are about to embark upon our greatest exploit. For now, relax, and watch as my netrunners dance through the web of cyberspace.
Oh, they want to hack the cannon.
The world is at my fingertips.
They probably want to hack the cannon.
Begin.
Netrunners. That's kind of what a lot of, yeah. That's what a lot of the sci-fi franchises use, I think. It's like at least in 2 other universes. It's the same name for these hackers. Neuromancer inspire, I guess. Fun dude just straight up died from it. That's how hacking looks like. Yeah, clearly. And you die the moment you click on the wrong thing. Darkness is left.
Welcome to the Global Defense Initiative Orbital Defense Matrix.
So they did hack it. What are they gonna do with it?
The world. Where to strike? Where will the world most keenly feel the blade of GDI treachery? You have done much to aid the Brotherhood towards this final victory. The choice, my friend, is yours.
At the United Nations today, angry political leaders of the G7 nations issued a formal statement denying complicity in last Tuesday's tragedy involving Paris's famed Eiffel Tower. The death toll in what some are calling an unwarranted attack passed 700 today as rescue workers and United Nations teams continued to sift through the rubble, unearthing 14 more bodies from what was once Paris's most famous landmark.
Yep.
French President Henri Prichard, safe in
Oh no,
London
the Eiffel
at the
Tower.
time of the
Anyway.
attack, reiterated his support of the UN statement, despite growing opposition to global defense initiative policies.
No, Eiffel Tower is like the most iconic landmark on Earth, I think. So yeah, I mean, pretty good choice to, you know, if you want to do that. I would say solid choice of targets. All right, we are done with that. We should play the second game now. The thing is, I need to split the streams because if I'm to upload this, I need to do it separately because this is like a recap of the first game. And I'm not gonna be playing the first game anymore, so there's a red alert to play as well. Maybe, but I don't think the first one's good. Even the remastered version is probably gonna be pretty painful to play. So play the second game instead. And I'll be right back.